What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another week of Top 5s. This week, we will be taking a look at my top 5 favorite grass-type Pokemon. Now, just a reminder before we get started that this list is 100% opinionated, and because of that, it is both expected and even encouraged to disagree, as we're not going to have the same ideas and same opinions on these Pokemon. Be sure to write down your own favorites down in the comment section below so we can compare, discuss, and all that fun stuff. And without further ado, let's get started with number 5. Our first Pokemon today is Sceptile. It's inevitable, of course, that a top 5 grass Pokemon list would include at least one starter, and this one is going to be no exception. Sceptile is going to be a very fitting choice to kick off this list. There's not really too much to be said about its great design, but for one thing, I really do enjoy the fact that it just looks mean. It just looks like it means business. Shenanigans will not be taking place in the forest while Sceptile is around. It's just not happening. There's also the Mega Evolution it received in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which gave it even higher speed and attacking power, as well as an amazing second typing in Dragon. It does mean, unfortunately, that Mega Sceptile essentially auto-loses to most things that pack Ice Shard, but it also gets Lightning Rod as its ability when it Mega Evolves, making it even more lethal than usual when there are electric types around. Moving on to number 4, we have Sawsbuck, the Seasoned Pokemon. First of all, I love its unique typing of normal grass, as I do not believe any other Pokemon shares that typing, but the fact that it has multiple designs for different seasons is just incredible to me. One thing I did notice, though, is that the name Sawsbuck might actually be an acronym for the seasons combined with the name of a male deer or a buck. That's the obvious part. But summer, autumn, winter, spring. S-A-W-S, Saws, Sawsbuck. Maybe that's not exactly what they were going for, but I just like to think that. Anyway, on the competitive side, Sawsbuck isn't as bad as it's made out to be either, sporting a decent 95 base speed and 100 base attack, which is pretty solid, as well as access to boosting moves in Swords Dance and Agility. At number 3, we have another starter Pokemon, Torterra. Torterra is easily my favorite grass-type starter, and it's one that I think is severely underrated in general. Not a lot of people point to Torterra as their favorite grass-type starter, or even as a cool or good Pokemon in general. Personally, I don't know how you could dislike such an awesome design along with a solid, although different, typing in Grass Ground. In fact, I think Grass Ground is also unique to Torterra in the same way that Sawsbuck has a unique typing in Grass Normal. I think it'd be awesome if Torterra were to be able to get a Mega Evolution sometime in Gen 7, and it's something that I'm secretly, or not so secretly, hoping for, but even without it, it's still a really amazing Pokemon. And then competitively, there's always going to be that special place in my heart for Rock Polished Torterra, which I've been able to actually see some success with, even up as high as OU. And there's something even cooler. Torterra and Groudon actually share the same classification as the Continent Pokemon. So all of these things mean that Torterra is going to be number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2, we have the Scarecrow Pokemon, Cacturne. Cacturne is one of the creepier grass-type Pokemon with a bit of a spooky Pokedex entry that I particularly like. Packs of them follow travelers through the desert until the travelers can no longer move. The way it is worded implies that humans wandering through the desert are actually prey for Cacturne. So they're human-eating scarecrows. That is a bit scary, to say the least. And when it comes to the competitive side of things, it's a bit unfortunate that Cacturne is so frail, as oftentimes even powerful neutral hits can OHKO it, but it does have pretty solid offensive stats both on the physical and special side, as well as a useful ability in Water Absorb that grants it a handy immunity to water type attacks, and of course that Stab Sucker Punch as a much needed priority move since Cacturne is also pretty darn slow. But all in all, Cacturne is a pretty amazing Pokemon, and I think it fits just perfectly at number 2. And finally, my favorite grass-type Pokemon is Rosa Raid. Even though it's classified as the bouquet Pokemon, I've always seen Rosa Raid as kind of like ninja-like for some reason. And that is a quality that really draws me to a lot of different Pokemon, and Rosa Raid is no exception there. Furthermore, my love for Rosa Raid is in stark contrast to the pre-evolved Roselia. Even back in 3rd Gen, when Roselia was the new kid on the block, I always hated it. I think what really changed my opinion of the evolutionary line was actually seeing Cynthia packing a Rosa Raid the first time I played through Diamond version. There's also the fact that I'm terribly biased towards anything and everything Gen 4 because it is my clear favorite aside from my nostalgia-driven love for Gen 1. So for Rosa Raid, it's got the design, it's got the look, it's great competitively, and it's from one of my favorite regions, so considering all of this, it was an easy pick for number 1. Well, that will wrap things up for this week's Top 5. Remember to leave your favorites down in the comment section below and drop a like if you did enjoy the video. As always, the description has links to all of my social media if you would like to stop by and say hi. And of course, I will be back next week with yet another Top 5 video. But until then, game on!